The Fall by Albert Hello there. Today I speak about The Fall by Albert Camus. This is the second Albert Camus that I have read. I read The Stranger many, many, many years ago. Something's going on the beach, something about Algeria, somebody gets murdered. That's all I remember. But this I have is a little fresher in my brain, having finished it a couple of days ago. The Fall. Okay, so I read the book, and I really liked it, actually. And one of the reasons I think I really liked it is because I think I'm in the fall of myself. Not the fall of my life. I think I'm more of in the winter of my life. But I mean, I think I just had a fall recently. And I think I'm involved in a collective fall. Like the USA seems to be kind of like sputtering in some kind of a situation where it's kind of run out of momentum, or the momentum it's been running on is driving us into a wall. At any rate, the fall that I experienced was more a personal fall. And this is kind of about a personal fall. What we have is we have kind of a long narration. It's only 120, 170, 150, 100 and something pages long. Yeah, like 150 pages long. So we got a guy who's from France, and he's actually living in Amsterdam. I've been to Amsterdam long time ago, previous century. So he's in Amsterdam, and he wants to be in Amsterdam because that's where everybody's like coming and going, all the people from all over the world. Sort of what he says. It's sort of this meandering monologue by this guy who talks to whatever strangers he's meeting in the Mexico City is the name of the bar in Amsterdam where this is located, or part of it is located. So he talks about how what is it? It actually is a story of a kind of a narcissistic personality, and I'm familiar with that too, because I'm basically your male narcissist of the working class variety who's never made much of myself. But we have them in all categories of life. There's the high-end narcissists, the billionaires, and the people that Douglas Rushkoff talks about in the book about the people who want to last forever, and the billionaires who set up places, bunkers for themselves to last after the fall of all of us, which they think they can achieve. But so back to the book. Yeah, I start meandering all the time, but it's my channel and nobody's really watching it much anyway, so that's great for me. So this lawyer guy talks about how he used to be in the past. He used to be a famous lawyer and a really decent kind of liberal character. He would take the cases that he felt he wanted to take. He could pick and choose. He would do things pro bono. He was a good guy. He would help blind people across the street. All these kind of things that had this sort of this setup about what he thought of himself. And he talks about how he didn't remember things, like conveniently forgot his faults, sort of. And I think that's a trait of a lot of us, because this is really about a lot of us, not just about this guy. So he talks about how he would, how he hurt people or hurt situations and then would forget about it. And go along his merry way. And that's what a narcissist can do and can achieve, continuously, especially if they're, well placed, or even just handsome and kind of charismatic. They can pull it off too. I mean, I'm speaking from experience here, where you can pull off all kinds of stuff, and then if when it doesn't work out right, you split up from somebody or whatever, you just sort of you just kind of go on to the next thing and forget about what happened in the past and kind of disregard that. It doesn't matter anymore because we're off on to the next chapter. But does all this feed back into a karma loop that we eventually really do feel? Well, maybe it does. I don't know, but we shall see. In the book, he has a couple of situations where he runs into the self-image of himself that gets defeated. One is a stupid road rage traffic thing where some guy's on a scooter or motorbike or something, and it craps out in the middle of the street, and he's like in the first car. I'll probably muddle all these stories that I tell, but that's okay. Because it's my impressions of the book. It's not really what the book is about. You have to read the book in order to, I mean, this book, maybe more than some of the others, is something, well, they're all like that. You have to really experience the book. Some dude at random propelling out of YouTube into your computer or your smartphone is not going to really tell you anything about these books, I don't think, at least not me. There are other people like, well, philosophy thinks. I think that's what I listen to get a little more info on Mr. Camus' take here on the fall. So yeah, this guy and the lawyer in the fall has a couple of situations that he runs into that shake up his self-image, his narcissistic, beautiful self that he is. The first one is this road rage thing where there's this motorbike in the middle of the road, and he's trying to get the guy to move out of the way because he has to go somewhere. Move to the side, blah 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 blah. And he's kind of rude to the guy, and ultimately, in this exchange, he gets kind of he gets cold cocked. He gets punched by somebody, unbeknownst to himself. What is that called when you surprise punch? Anyway, sucker punch. Yeah, he gets sucker punched, and humiliated in front of everybody else, the line of cars, presumably, that is waiting for this motorbike to move, and then his car and so forth. So he gets humiliated by this worker guy or whoever it is with the bike, and so that bothers him. Also, he hears this sort of a laughter. It sort of reminded me of dark laughter in the Sherwood Anderson book, which is very strange, by the way. But he hears this laughter and thinks he's being judged and being laughed at. So his whole structure of his life up until that point is like he was this good guy, he was this cool guy, he was this guy that nobody was going to be laughing at, and all of a sudden he's starting to feel everything sort of crumble around his self-image. So he feels that he is being judged by everyone, and they're judging him and laughing at him. So that's like, it kind of freaks him out. And then the last is something that kind of reminded me of Charlie Chaplin's City Lights, in that he happens upon a woman on the bridge. He's walking along the bridge at night, and a woman is on the bridge and looking down into the water, and then he hears a scream, and then she's in the water and flowing downstream, and he hears her yell, more distantly, "Help! Help!" as she rides the river flow out to wherever, to her death and whatever happens to her. So he doesn't jump in to save her, and so that shakes him up as well, that he is the kind of person who would not jump in and save a person. But we don't know why she is in the water. I kind of assumed that she jumped, but on the other hand, did she maybe yell, and did she why was she yelling help if she jumped? Well, maybe she had second thoughts, whatever. But anyway, it doesn't save her. And this propels him all to let everything go and doubt himself, and just become this guy who's kind of drinking gin in these, as philosophy thinks, suggested gin being a kind of a low drink that someone would indulge in. So it is this story of this sort of narcissistic guy, and as philosophy thinks, which I listened to today at work. I read the book a couple of days ago, and I think, well, I don't really know if I have enough to really say about this that I should, I don't like to appear stupid, I don't like to appear like I don't know what the hell I'm reading, which, of course, I don't know what the hell I'm reading half of the time, but at any rate, he is, a narcissistic personality who comes to understand, some things that are going on within him. But being a narcissistic personality, he does not change from his narcissism. It evolves, and this is what has happened to me in the last. I mean, it's been going on, like what I think about you, other humans. How we deal with judgment, the judgment of others, and the judgments we make of other people. And so the position he takes is this one of well, it's not just me. We're all fucked up. We're all guilty. No one is innocent. And, so he's judging everyone from his position of being judged. So therefore, you cannot judge me back, as I've already judged myself harshly. And so the narcissist once again being in control, and it being all about him. It was really a fine, very interesting and good read, and I would recommend it to people who want to read stuff like that, or listen to an audiobook. I've found that there are a lot of audiobooks on YouTube, and I don't know if there's one of this. There's one of the myth of Sisyphus, syphilis, whatever. There's that one, and I noticed that there's an audiobook version of that. So there might be one of this as well, so you can just listen to the book instead of having to look at all those marks that supposedly turn into thoughts and words, or whatever goes on with this strange language and code that we're all familiar with if we are readers. I guess I turned into a reader because I became familiar with the code. So the fall, it was pretty damn good, and it's I've been doing this for a while. It's like, I mean, it permeates my books here too, that I am judging humanity as unworthy, as in the last one about the nuclear war, which all of 15 people have looked at, which indicates how interested they are in nuclear war, or wherever I am in the algorithm or whatever. But I think it's kind of funny. But so the fall struck me in a kind of personal way. Everything I read, being the narcissist type that I am, what has this to do with me? And I found that there was a lot that the fall had to do with me. And if you read it, it might have a lot to do with you. I don't know. That's between you and the book and the judge of whomever is judging whatever in your sphere of life and interest and thought. So yeah, well, you do whatever you need to do as far as interfacing with this thing, and I'll probably make more videos. Actually, I've been reading some interesting books coming up, and have more coming to the library, so I'll just keep talking and reading the books, and you'll do what you do.